Today, I really want to talk about what you need to do in order to develop and evolve your account. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So we all know that there are differing levels of players in Raid Shadow Legends. That's one of the unique things about a mobile game, which is what Raid is. Yes, you can play it on computer. That's how I play it. That's how I'm playing it right now. But we need to remember that there are people that are playing this on different levels. There are people who spend 16 hours a day grinding, pushing, spending every single bit of their energy and optimizing their play, and of course probably spending a buttload of money. And then there are people who don't spend a dime, log on for 10-15 minutes, complete their dailies, collect their clan boss loot, and probably log off, right? There's levels to this. Everyone is going to contribute differently. So what I want to be clear about before we get started is that this is kind of a generalization, and I'm calling myself out here on how I stopped putting in the work and I fell behind pretty hard. So what prompted this video? Well, my clan recently, we've been noticing that some players haven't been contributing, and I was one of them. So listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. When it came to Chimera, I had a team that could consistently Ultra Nightmare do 112 million damage, but I had to manual it. Then when they changed the Lion form, I had to completely rebuild that team because I was dying on Lion form, and I still had to manual it. Then when I manualed it, sometimes I would get close, but not enough. Maybe I'd get 109 million. I think even once I got 112.3 million or something like that. And it was like, come on, man, I got so close, right? That's a half hour of my time. And as I've talked about a lot recently on the channel, I have a full-time job that pays pretty well too. That's where a lot of my focus and my energy and my time is going. So sitting down and playing Raid Shadow Legends for 30 minutes non-stop, I mean, yeah, I can, walk away because it's Raid, but that wasn't in the cards for me. And so for the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've been slacking and only doing about 70 million on Ultra Nightmare and kind of wasting my time and my clan's time for those people that are putting in the work and doing 175, 164 million, right? So I took the time today to build my team. I sat down and I played Raid Shadow Legends, right? Sounds crazy, but I took the time, I rebuilt some gear, I leveled up for the first time. I leveled up a relic to 15. That's the only relic on my account that is that high. Yeah, so you can see that is my only one. I'm sure you're like, Roadblock, why in the world do you want that on Acrisia? Well, I don't really want it always on Acrisia, but I want that on Acrisia for Chimera because it helps her ignore more of the defense and do more damage. But I did more than that. I changed gear around, I improved speeds, I altered a lot of the team, and I also altered their rotation of abilities because I didn't just run this one time. I probably ran like 3 or 4 runs on auto. That was a big key factor for me. Hey, if I'm gonna do this with my time limits and constraints, I gotta be able to play this game on auto, because if I can't play this game on auto, I can't really do it right now. I'm pulled in a lot of different directions. And even today, I spent about an hour in content making mode today too, right? Which usually I do about a half hour. Thanks so much to GameLeap for, setting me up with an editor and this partnership that we have, because I don't know that I could still have my YouTube channel if I didn't have GameLeap. So I know you guys get annoyed by the ads that are in these videos, but keep in mind that those are what are keeping the channel alive at this point. I'm no longer utilizing the channel as a source of income. I'm making content for you guys at this point and sticking around for you guys. So, you know, yes, it's still a dream of mine, but reality hit hard and I had to go and get a job and support my family. But those are stories for another time. The fact of the matter is that my time is so limited. I had to find a team that was on auto. So I kept running it, kept trying it, kept seeing, okay, watching the live the gameplay and seeing what does it do on auto. Oh, okay, it's not using this ability that I told it to use at the beginning of every round, because an opener apparently is only the very first time that they face a boss or something. I don't know, but I tweaked it, I messed around with it, and ultimately I got a team that could do 121 million on auto. Now, Hydra is my next goal. I don't know when I'm going to find time to do that, because my Hydra situation is really, really just terrible right now. And this team is only going to get better. I have a lot of champions that are basically ready and waiting to be a part of this team. We have Nekmothar, who eventually will be part of this team. Why isn't he? Well, no masteries and no books. When am I going to do that? Clan v Clan is right around the corner. The other one is going to be Senna, right? We deliberately target her. We went after her. She is an amazing champion, and we definitely want to put her in our team for this. So Senna is going to be the option as well, with her healing and her turn meter. So we're going to get both of them in the team. And then I really, really hope there's a way to go for the new Void Legendary coming out, because he's just better Lydia in a lot of ways, especially for Chimera. And I am super excited. Actually, I won't even say better Lydia, because that's not fair. Lydia has some very unique things about her, but he is better for Chimera than Lydia, because he does what I'm trying to do with my Lydia with her blessing choice, but it doesn't deliver because she only has a 1-star blessing. So the nature's bounty increasing her fear to the big version of it, I need to get 6-star for that to be even remotely possible. So that's not working the way that I want it to work, of course, right? So but yeah, he is better. I don't have a showcase for him or anything, but yeah, that's kind of, you know, so that team is only going to get better. I'm going to target the hell out of that guy, especially since I got Senna, so, and Nekmothar. Yeah, so getting Nekmothar in there, getting Senna in there, and hopefully I can get the new guy to put in there. I still got to figure out how to make them all work, though. Okay, so what am I talking about here? What I'm talking about is putting in the work. That is the main message that I'm trying to get across today. It is very easy to be lazy in Raid Shadow Legends. I am so guilty of this, right? We talk about it all the time. Look at my Great Hall, right? I'm not putting in the work when it comes to PvP, right? You can even look at my Chimera score, since we already talked about it, right? I am at 121 million, but you can see there are clearly other people who are doing better than me. Now, granted, some of them have mythicals that I don't have. Perhaps that's the problem. Perhaps it's something like Feral. You know, there's a lot that can kind of go into this, but putting in the work, it can be annoying. It can be frustrating to sit there and move your gear around and make these little tweaks and do these little things. But if you do put in that work and that time into your account, you'd be amazed at how far things can go. And I know that I'm going to get some kickback to this. This game is so hard. It's impossible, man. You need more. You need luck. You need money. You have to put money into this game. If you don't spend money, it's like, I get it. It can be frustrating when you're in certain situations. My free-to-play account was in one of the worst situations for the longest time, where I just didn't have any top-tier supports. And when I say top-tier supports, I'm talking about an Elva, Duchess, a Pythion, something that could cleanse, heal, bring block debuffs, you know, do all of, and revive, right? Do all of the things. I never had that on that account, and it sucked. Just flat out, plain and simple, it sucked. I was miserable. Having to rely on a Godseeker, a Neri, or a Rector Drath, you know, stuff like that was really, really annoying. However, I still didn't let that hold me back. I put in the work and I developed really, really good teams in many, many different difficulties. by pushing through that, by gearing appropriately, by taking advantage of the successes that I did have, right? So where maybe I didn't have these good pulls for supports, I had good damage dealers, right? On this account, I have good supports and I can put them all around my limited damage dealers to an extent. Like, obviously I have Marius now and the game is kind of solved, but my Marius is pretty weak because he's only 1-star blessing and doesn't have a lot of the things to make him as powerful as I would like. He doesn't hit actually as hard. I did testing of him versus Acrizia, and Acrizia being enemy max HP on every single hit was actually better for that team comp that I was doing. And so I basically put 4 supports around Acrizia, and Acrizia is also in, on this account, she is also in 9-piece Merciless, which makes a big deal as well, right? So she is really, really well built. Very, very happy with her and what she's able to do, being in that 9-piece Merciless, getting that ignore defense, getting those extra turns as well. So she's putting in a ton of work on Chimera. Then I put that Cat's Gaze on her, but building that team up around her and lining every little thing up to just get that optimal value was able to push that team. And I just, a little bit, and then finally I got 121 million, and I was like, this is it. This is the solution to my problem. I locked it in, and now once a week, I press a button, I walk away for a half an hour, I come back, and I'm presented with a completed run for Chimera, getting the maximum chest on Ultra Nightmare. I understand that that is somewhat of a controversial take to say, hey, all you got to do is put in the work. You still have to pull legendaries, you still have to pull good champions, right? Not just any legendary, you got to pull good legendaries, you still got to get books, you still got to, I get it, and money speeds all that up. But the real secret, even those people that spend tons of money, and listen, there are people in my clan who can vouch for it. We had an absolute kraken in our clan at one point. I mean, just a monster of a roster. And their account was so bad that even when, and I say we because me and other clan members took over the account, they had no gear to work with at all. 4-star pieces of gear. And it's like, we didn't even know where to begin. And multiple of us were hopping on this account trying to turn it around. And we kept working at it, but it still required that player to play and do the right thing. And while they probably spent a lot of their time to get a lot of money and put it in the game, they didn't put that time into the game. And so while they had a stacked account, insane roster, it wasn't enough, and we actually had to ask them to clan, and that sucked because we really wanted to turn that account into something that could help us out a ton. But you want to talk about somebody who puts in the work. I am going to give a shout out. I talk about him all the time. I almost hate doing it because he's going to be like, his ego is big enough as it is. But we have a clan member. It is known by Cheap Vodka is his name, right? He actually has 2 accounts in our clan. I think he might have changed the name on his account. I don't remember the roster that he has on it, but it makes sense a little bit. Either way, I want to shout out Cheap Vodka as somebody who puts in a ton of work on his account. I don't think he's entirely free to play, but very, very, very low spend, and yet still has a player power that dwarfs even mine. And I've spent pretty heavily on my account. So this is a guy, now he's one of those types of guys that's kind of always playing the game, always learning, watching content in streams, and he comes to me and says, hey, I heard about this idea, you should check this out. Hey, this thing is going on, you might want to make a video about it, right? Putting in the work is a big deal, and I'm very lazy when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends. I don't put in the work, and clearly see, look at my great haul. I should be way further along when you consider how long I've been playing this game. You can see I'm sitting right there on the 10 classic arena tokens, and I'm about to go to bed, right? So I'm not really putting in the work, and that's some stuff that I need to work on and improve. But at the end of the day, if you really want to push your account to its limits, you gotta play the game. Do you need to play 16 hours? No, that's not what I'm saying. Dedicate some time, sit down and say, hey, I'm going to fix my team today. I'm going to figure this out. And it goes a very long way in Raid Shadow Legends. So I know not all of you need to hear that. Some of you have your accounts locked in, ready to go. But there are a lot of players that kind of sit back and just go, well, because I don't have any good legendaries, I'm not going to try and push this content. You would be surprised at what you can do. The last thing that I'll shout out Vodka for is going to be a representation of what you can do with a little bit of time and gear. So this is Cheap Vodka's account. It took 10 minutes, but an apothecary for him was able to solo stage 20 of Ice Golem. This is not relevant. I'm not going to show you the build or anything. This is just nonsense, right? But it's cool to see that if you put some just monster gear on a rare, what they can do. And that's essentially what Cheap Vodka was able to do here. So he had to put in the work to figure that out. Now, is that a team he runs all the time? No, but it's a preset that he had saved because he was like, hey, I could show you this apothecary team and you could put it in a video. And I was like, we had a video to put it in and I decided not to do it, but I didn't want to like let his effort go to waste because he did go ahead and rebuild that team and put it through Ice Golem for me so that it would work. And that was 10 minutes out of his time. So shout out to Vodka. But yeah, put in the work, guys. Do what you got to do. I'm guilty of it. I don't always do it. But remember, once you get something that's on auto, once you put it in, and hey, that's going to work every time, with the exception being Hydra in a lot of ways because of different affinity changing and all that crap. Hopefully things go well for you. Either way, guys, we're going to call that a video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to help the channel grow, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Take care.